and it isn't one.
There you go.
Hi, guys. I have a guest today for the podcast, and I'm going to let her go ahead and introduce herself. And now we actually um, have known about each other for quite a few years. We were both in girls' ministries for the South Texas district, and she was at Cross Church, and I was at Assemblies of God Church here in Harlingen, and it's been a while. So, but anyway, that's how we originally met several years ago, and we've kept in contact. And I want her to introduce herself, and I'm just going to let her introduce herself.
My name is Paula Villarreal, and a lot of people know me as Sister Paula at church. And my full-time profession is in occupational therapy. Occupational therapist. So I work with children from 0 to 21 years of age. It's something I'm very passionate about. It's a God-given career that I know I dived into and been doing really well with it. Aside from doing that as a full-time job, I also help out at my church, primarily with women and all things redesigned, and some other little things I dabble in there as well. That's a little bit about me.
Awesome. All right, what is your favorite scripture?
Okay, this one's really, really hard because I have several.
Yes.
I even have a favorite chapter.
Oh, awesome.
I would have to say right now something that's really been muttering in my mind and just meditating on it has been John 1:4. His life is light for all of humanity. And I think we can all take away from that when he's in our hearts, we light up for him and we're able to share his love with other people.
Awesome. I think that's great. Now my next question is just going to be a little fun question, and we'll get back into what we want to talk about in just a minute. But if you were to take 3 things on a deserted island, what would they be?
Ooh, that's really challenging. For sure, my Bible. And if I had the ability to plug in somewhere, my Kindle, because I have like over 200 books on there. And the third thing I would take would be a picture of my family.
Aw, that's nice. All right. Now, how did you get started in occupational therapy? What got you interested in that?
So initially, when I was a young little girl, 14 years of age, I started volunteering at a local hospital here at Valley Baptist, and they had a program called candy striping, and you wear the white shirt and the little apron with the stripes.
Do they not still have that, or how is that?
They do have a junior volunteer program, but you don't wear the candy stripe outfit anymore. So they don't call them candy stripers anymore. So it was during that time, during 14 to 19, when I was volunteering there at the hospital, I came across the rehabilitation department, and I was really marveled at the whirlpool. Where the people, when they had their injuries, they would put their legs in there or their arms. I just thought it was the neatest thing. And I said, I want to do that. I want to help people get better and put their extremities in the little whirlpool. Well, I ended up not doing physical therapy, but I also took a little detour, and I said, well, I'm pretty close enough to it where I can still help people and connect with people and help them get better.
So yes, that's good. That's good. Okay, now, what is one thing you wish you had known before you started your career in therapy?
I think one thing that I wish I would have known is that it's really, really hard to juggle everything that you need to do. I think in any job, it's you sign up for something and then it ends up being an array of things, and sometimes my heart wants to treat and provide therapy, and sometimes it doesn't work out that way. I have to do 6 hours of paperwork versus 2 hours of being with my patients, and so that's one of the things that just tugs at the heart, but it's part of the process, and since I'm an evaluator, they make me test more than see. So.
Oh yeah, there's always the side you're the most passionate about, and then there's always that other side, the paperwork and the technical side that's not as fun, the cleanup, the all of the things, and then when you move up and you're in a more of a position with, do you have employees under you? So, or
no,
just evaluating the processes,
of the children, their baseline, and then working from there with their goals.
Okay, I see. Kind of like a teacher when they have to evaluate their students. Okay, all right. Now, what I would like for you to tell everybody now, she has wrote a book, and I just want her to tell you a little bit of the process of how she got to that point to writing a book, and where it took her and where she's at now, and just a little bit of her story. I would like her to share that with you.
Okay. I love this question because a lot of people want to know, what's your book about? I even had one of my coworkers, once I publicized it that I had signed my contract, one of my coworkers literally came up to me and said, Paula, sit down. I want to know, am I in this book, and did you change my name? I just thought she was hilarious because I said no.
She wanted to know if you told anyone's secrets.
And I said, no, it is not about you. It's about my infertility journey. And I just got the giggles when she asked me that. But I think, a lot of people want to know what the book is about and how long is the book. But I love that question about how I got to writing the book, because it really is a God moment. I, by nature, I'm not a writer at all, by no means. I'm more of a biology, chemistry kind of girl. And so when I had faced this dilemma with infertility, I'm an avid reader. So I went on Amazon. I looked at my Kindle. I ordered a couple of books because I was facing some really serious sadness and not understanding what I was going through. And every book that I would get, I would read through it. Those books shall remain nameless, but I read those books and they just didn't make me feel any better. I just felt like I was back at square one. And then I just kept hearing like a little inkling in my thoughts, like, well, maybe you should write something that'll help other people.
Yeah, I think that's how a lot of writers get started. You can't find the right thing for what you're going through, and you think other people have to be going through the same thing. And I have a similar journey, so I know exactly how heartbreaking it is. I know we've talked a little bit about it. And that's how a lot of writing gets done, is people have a story and they're not quite finding the right book to resonate with them, and they feel like they can do something to help someone else. That's awesome. Yeah.
And so I was walking down my hallway. It's a long hallway, and I just had this light bulb moment, and God downloaded, I kid you not, this is how you're going to start your book.
Awesome.
And it was something like, oh my God, that's so personal. And so that was a God moment, because I wouldn't have thought of starting it like that. And so that just led to another, and I got connected with some amazing mentors who help people write books and tap into that creative side that I didn't even know that I had.
Wow.
And so my encouragement from just that one story alone is that just because you're not a writer, just because maybe you're not a dancer, maybe you're not a singer, that does not negate the fact that there's something inside of you that needs to come out, some creative juices to flow.
And we're going to let you read the book. She's not going to tell you everything that's in it. You've got to get the book.
The book doesn't come out until the summer, so that'll give you some preparation for that.
Awesome. Great. And guys, I know I use the word awesome a lot. Sorry, but I'm working on that. Now, what is, let's see. What advice, and you already touched on that a little bit, what advice would you give someone that either wants to go into the career you're going into, or want to write someone else that wants to write a book?
So in terms of a career, any career, I always counsel my I don't have any kids yet, but I always counsel my friends' kids, and I'm always very curious, like, what do they want to do when they grow up? And that's one of the questions you have me simultaneously ask all of their kids, and it's not because I'm being nosy, but it's because I want to ignite that passion in them to go to school. Go to school is so important, and find a career that they are passionate about. And so that would be my first advice, is to find something that you love, something that you're passionate about. So when you're working, it doesn't feel like you're working, but more like you're having fun all day. And number two, just similar to what I said earlier about writing, is not my forte, but I didn't allow that to hinder me from diving into that. And so if you're interested in something, like, for example, writing, my advice to you is get yourself a little notepad, get yourself however you work best, laptop, a notepad, and start writing. It may not be perfect, may not be edited, but the key thing is to write and to start.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just every little idea, just write everything down, because you can go back later and make an outline. And some people start from the end of the book and work their way to the front of the book, and some work, from the beginning to the end. And I'm the type, I'm not a writer, and I'm not writing a book, but when I plan these podcasts, I try to just take a lot of notes, and then I try to arrange them in an order that makes sense. And sometimes I have to rework it, because then I read through it later and it's like, it doesn't make sense. You just got to keep working at it.
And if I could add something on that note as well, something that one of my writer friends, one of the things that I love about this mentorship, I get to surround myself with other writers who are passionate about writing. And one of the nuggets that I cannot take credit for, this is my friend Tamara. She said, I was spilling my heart out to her one day, and I said, I have this idea, I have this idea, I have this. And she's like, well, it's not good just to be talking about it. You need to write them down. So she advised me to get these little notebooks. And so I have 5 book ideas right now that I'm working on, and I have one rough draft that's already complete. But but I have little folders, and anytime I have an idea, I pop it in there. I'm not necessarily writing it, but I pop it in the notebook, and when I'm ready to dive in there, I can dive in there. And so I have 5 little notebooks, and there's this one book, like that I was saying, that it's complete. It's a rough draft. It's a children's book, and it's based on my dogs. So that one's already complete, but I'm gonna wait till this book comes out before this one comes out. It's a little lighter, and I needed that.
Oh, awesome. Well, now and these could be in your writing mentors, but who over the course of your life would you say your 3 most inspiring or influential people in your life are?
First and foremost, I have to I give a shout out to my God, because it's in my quiet time that I connect with him, and I get all these downloads, these great ideas, these great downloads, and just his love for me. So God is my number one. And then also my husband. My husband has been a pillar for me when sometimes I didn't know I could keep going, right?
Yes.
And then there's several
That's
women.
Important.
Yes. And then there's several women at church that really have mentored me as well. There's just probably too many to name, but I'm just grateful for every woman in my life that has planted a seed of hope and love.
Yes. Okay. Now let's get down to in your life are you the most organized? You're the most proud of your organization?
I would have to say, in my personal life, is my closet.
You're a closet organizer.
I am. I think one of the most funniest, I guess, organization hacks that I have in my closet is I have boxes for each of my shoes, and they're little cardboard boxes. They're not like fancy smancy or anything, but I love it because I have some that are empty, and I just say that they're for my 2022, 23 shoes that are to come.
Now, so you're a shoe person?
A little bit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, would you say that you have a lot of shoes, or you just like the shoes you have?
That's a tough question. I counted my shoes last night because I was getting rid of some. I have about 70 pairs.
Okay.
But those 70 pairs, like if I get another pair, I usually toss one out.
Okay.
So I try to stay in that range.
Okay. So you're good at organizing your closet. Very good. Okay. Now, my next question is, and I know not everybody likes to admit this, but where are you the least organized?
The least organized, I would have to say the kitchen.
Okay.
So all of these are home related, right?
Yeah, they can be home or business related. It's just interesting to know. And plus, it's also, even though I'm an organizer, and even though there are most places inside my home are organized, my disaster is probably my garage, and mostly because I have lots and lots and lots of decor and lots and lots and lots of party decor. So event planning decor, and it is organized, but if you were to go in there, it's pretty packed full of stuff. So I'm not good at the declutter. I do declutter it. So it's not that I don't declutter it. It's just that I have a lot of it. I just like too much decor. That's my problem. So it's not that I'm unorganized. It's just that I have too much of it. Yeah.
So time to declutter.
Yeah. And I do declutter, but there's so many things I like, and that makes it hard. But that's just saying that just because I'm an organizer doesn't mean I've perfected it, and no one is perfect in every area of their life. All right. Now, let's see here. Now, if you could step into my shoes, what would you have asked yourself that I didn't? What do you want people to know that I haven't asked you about? Is there anything else you would like them to know?
I would have liked for you to have asked me, aside from your passion for your career and your books, is there something else that you do for fun?
Oh, yes. Tell us about your fun and your hobbies. Tell me as much as you want to tell me.
I think also because sometimes when people, they meet you for the very first time, they have this idea of who you are, or like, oh, this is Paula the writer, this is Paula the OT. But I think there's a lot of layers that go with that in order to be not the perfect, but the beautiful Paula that I am, or the beautiful Carrie that you are. And so one of the things about me that a lot of people, well, some people do know, but some people don't know, is that my husband and I, we fly kites over South Padre, and we're known as the kite couple. And it's one of the things that I love to do with my husband, and I think it's strengthened our marriage, and it's also challenged us a bit because if you don't think that there's fighting out on the sand, there's fighting on the sand. And so I love it how we navigate through when he's doing something and he's getting mad because I did something wrong, or vice versa. And these are big kites. And so one false move and something can go totally wrong. And I'll share a real quick story. We had a couple of octopuses up in the air one year, and it was like 26 feet long, our baby octopuses, and they were all up there. Well, this one octopus, I don't know if I pulled the string, but it brought everything down. And it's a pain to go back to kind of fix it. So little things like that, and that's something that I love to share about, because I think it's very important for marriages to have something that you do together, that you love to do together, and grow and challenge each other. So that's been a little bit of our little secret sauce to keeping our marriage thriving and bright.
It's always good to have a hobby together. My husband and I need to work on having a hobby outside of the house. That's the only thing. My husband and I are pretty much homebodies, so having hobbies outside of the house, that's something I'll have to work on. But what kite do you all have? If someone were to go to the island and see all the kites out in the skies, which one would be yours?
Usually we have pretty pretty distinctive kites. We have some kites that are one of a kind. They're barrels. We have a lot of delta kites, a lot of trilobites. Trilobites is like this ancient sea creature, but they made it into a kite, and it has little dangling ribbons at the end. So,
do you still have the octopus?
Yes, we have the octopuses. I think we have too many octopuses.
Oh, okay. So octopuses and
trilobites.
Trilobites.
Yes.
Those are creatures?
Creatures, yes. Okay. And if you want to, I can give you the handle so you can kind of take a look at our collection online.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, then that's the other thing. If people want to, maybe purchase your book or find you as a therapist, where would they find you?
So that's a very good question. Right now, we're in the process of working on my my book website. But if you want to follow some of my current blogging, I'm at www.paulavillarreal.com. That's my little blogging site, and you can sign up to get updates there as well. And then if you want to follow me on Facebook, it's Paula Villarreal, and on Instagram, it's Paula DV, PAULADEEVEE, and Kite Couple is Kite Couple with a K.
Oh, I love that. Kite Couple. That's great. All right. Well, Paula, thank you so much for coming and sharing your story with us. And I hope you are really blessed by this. And when does the book come out?
So the book comes out in summer 2022.
And what is the name of it?
The name of it is Dream Again.
Dream Again, Paula Villarreal. If I can say that real fast.
It's a toughie.
And it's coming out again?
Summer 22.
Oh, yeah. Summer of 22. Okay. So we've got that to look forward to. Yes. Yay. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And we will see you on the next podcast.